So today I would like us to start either sitting up in rock pose, sitting on your heels, or folded forward in child's pose. If you're in child's pose, let the weight of your body release over your thighs. Let the arms relax over the legs. And if you're sitting upright, let your sit bones release down. Relax the shoulders. Now relax the face. You deepen your breath. If you can close the eyes, do so and really focus your awareness inside the body. Using the breath to focus your mind. Using the mind to encourage the breath. Feeling it expanding in all directions. Filling the torso. And relaxing as you exhale. Stay with your breath. On your next inhale, lift your body and reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the ground behind you, leaning into those hands. And then as you inhale, if you can lift your seat, do so. If not, just lift your chest and your eyes. And then as you exhale, come forward, child's pose. Inhale all the way up. You can come up onto your knees if you wish, or stay down here. Exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, lifting, again coming onto the knees, or staying down and just lifting the chest. Exhale, child's pose. Good. Now, continue at your own pace, using each position to deepen the opening or the release. Slowing the breath down. Take your time to complete the inhale, especially the exhale. You might find that as you fold forward into your child's pose, as soon as your head hits the ground or you come to the end of your pose, you're ready to go back up again. But see if there's maybe not some more breath that can come out before you transition to the next position in the inhale. The next time you come into child's pose, we'll stay there. And then extend the arms overhead. Then walk them over to the right. Bringing your right hand beside you on the ground so that when you push into that hand, it sends the left hip back. And then inch the fingers of the left hand out even farther, stretching long through the left side. Feeling where the expansion takes place as you inhale. Where there's a sense of letting go as you exhale. Imagine that you're inhaling so much that it fills your body all the way to the fingertips. And then take it over to the other side. Again, bringing the left hand beside you on the ground, pushing into it, sending your right hip back, and then reaching out long through the right fingers. And breathing long up the right side. Bring the hands center, the body center, arms extended out. And then lift your buttocks off your heels. Keep your hands shoulder width apart. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes. Inhale. And then exhale, lift the knees, but keep the knees bent. And then push forward into the hands, trying to move your ribs back toward your thighs. Knees still bent. Good. Keep lengthening the spine as you inhale. Pull the belly in as you exhale, maybe dropping the ribs and chest. Relax your head straight down toward the ground. And then straighten your left leg. Press into the hands and push down into the left heel. Send your left hip back. Good. Now we're going to lower the hips and lift the right knee to the left elbow. Good. Now straighten the right leg and send it off to the left. That's it. And then walk your left hand behind your right wrists and look over your right shoulder. Maybe squeeze the inner thighs together to twist a little more. Deep breath. Where do you feel that? And return the hand and send that right leg up. Press down through the left heel, flex the right foot. Keep the hips level so you're not rolling that right hip open. And then try to float the right heel up higher without lifting the right hip. Good. Now, keeping the right leg off the ground, lower the hips. Right leg is still off the ground. And then lift the hips, lift the leg again. And then we'll come and bring that right knee up inside the right hand. Curl the back toes under. Come up onto your fingertips. Lift the back knee and press back through the left heel. Good. Now pull the shoulders back and the shoulder blades in and lift the heart. Lift your gaze. Feel the long stretch from the back toes all the way up the leg, up the left hip, up the left front side of the body, all the way up to the eyes. Push down into the fingers. Actively pressing back through the heel. Now aim the left hip for the right knee. Good. Relax the knee down. Bend that back knee and reach your left hand back for the foot and pull the foot in toward the buttock. Good. Release that back leg down. Come onto fingertips, lift the chest, inhale. And then reach out through the chest and fold forward. Rest your forehead either on hands or fists or the ground if you're able to reach the ground. Try to relax into those exhales. Let the ribs release toward the ground. Relax the legs. Deep, slow breath. And then push into your hands to lift your torso. Plant your hands shoulder width apart. Spread the fingers. Curl the back toes. And then send your right foot back. Straighten the right leg and bend the left knee. Push forward into the hands. Sending your hips back. Press the right heel down. Drop the ribs, drop the chest, drop the head. Slowly filling the body with your inhale. Relaxing the body with your exhale. Now we're going to drop the hips and bring the left knee to the right elbow. Continue to breathe. And then straighten the leg, bring it down to the ground. So your legs are kind of like at a 90-degree angle. And then walk your right hand as far over to the left, behind your left wrist as you can. Look over your left shoulder. Deep breaths here. Maybe squeeze the inner thighs together. Bring your hand back and then send that left leg straight up, flexing the foot, pushing into the hands and down into the right heel. Drop your torso. Lift the leg as high as you can without lifting and rolling open that left hip. Try to keep the hips level and then just float the heel up higher. Sink the torso down lower. Drop the head. Good. Now keep the leg off the ground as you lower your hips so you're in basically a three-limbed plank. That's great. Inhale, lift that leg again. And then exhale, come and slide the knee up to the inside of your hand. If you want your hip to get more of a stretch, then you just bring your foot more forward. The back toes are curled under, and we'll lift the back knee and come up onto the fingertips. Roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades in toward each other. Spiral the inner elbows forward. Lifting the back knee, push back through that right heel. Press down into the fingers and lift your chest, lift your eyes. Take long breaths like you're breathing from your back toes all the way up to the top of your head. Aim the right hip for the left knee. Release the back knee down. Bend the back leg. Reach the right hand to the left. And pull the heel toward the buttock. And release the leg down. Come up onto the fingertips. Lift the chest. Inhale. Leading with the chest. Come forward. And relax the head down. Relax the left hip. Dropping the torso. Connecting to the breath. And press into your hands. So lift yourself up, curl the back toes under, send the left leg back, coming into downward dog, all 10 fingers pressing forward, sending the hips back, pull the arms down the back, press the heels down, straight legs, sink the chest, drop the head, and shake the head no as we breathe out of the mouth. And then shake the head yes, breathing out of the mouth. And then shaking all around. Holding here, really feeling the inhale, lengthening from the fingertips to the sit bones. The exhale, lengthening from the sit bones to the heels. Good. And then lower the hips down, come into plank. Tailbone down, thighs up, navel up. And we'll roll over onto the outer edge of the right foot. If you can, stack your left foot on top of your right foot. If not, just leave it on the ground. And then we'll send that left arm straight up. If you're able to balance while looking up at your hand, it is more challenging. If you want that, look up. Otherwise, look down. You want more of a challenge, you can bring your left hand to your left big toe and send that leg straight up. Good, now let's take the arm from overhead, from straight up to overhead. Reach long, stretch the side. Lift the hips a little bit to get a little bit more of a side stretch. And then come back into plank. And we'll roll over to the other side. You can always modify by having your left knee on the ground, by having your right foot on the ground, or come into the forward pose, stacking the feet, taking the arm up, adding that additional challenge if you want, lifting the right leg up in the air. Good, now bring the right arm overhead, lift the hips a little bit higher, stretching the right side. Long, slow breaths. And then come back into plank, and then you can either take child's pose or downward dog. See what your body needs right now. Okay, wherever you are, transition to hands and knees. And then send the knees out to the side, keeping the knees in line with the hips. So we don't want the knees back behind or in front, but straight out to the side of the hips. And take the knees as wide as they'll go, bending the knees 90 degrees so that the ankles are in line with the knees, just as the knees are in line with the hips. And then if you can, come down onto elbows. If you can, come all the way down onto your head. And let your hips and pelvis sink toward the floor. So if you've gone as far as you can go, it's a pretty intense stretch. So rather than tensing up around it, see if you can focus on your breath and try to relax. Such great training to be in the face of intensity and look to stay relaxed in the moment. Okay, let's press up. Bring the knees in. And then we'll all come onto the forearms, having the wrists as wide as the elbows. And then curl the toes under and lift the knees, coming into a forearm plank. Support your back with your belly, lifting it up. And then bring your hips down, uncurl your toes, keep your hands where they are, draw the arms toward you, sending the chest out in Sphinx pose. So the forearms are actively pulling toward the feet, the tailbone pressing down, drawing all the way from your pubic bone up the front of your body, bringing it all forward. Breathing into it. And then we'll bring the index fingers and thumbs together, making a little diamond shape with those fingers. Lift your hips, bring your knees under your hips. Keep your elbows shoulder width apart. Curl your toes under. Take a breath in, and then exhale and lift the legs, the knees. Push forward through the forearms, sending your hips back. Relax your head down. And then come onto the hands and look forward and step the right foot up. Bring the back heel down and come and lift. Push your left thigh back and really nail the center of your left heel to the ground. And then keeping that firmly planted, bring your left hip forward. Lift up and in through your belly, under with your tailbone. Nice, keep that back leg active. Bend deeper into the front leg, bringing your hips more forward and under you. And take the arms up. Lift your gaze. Lift your heart. Keep pressing back through the left thigh. And then bring the hands together at the heart. Take a breath here. Exhale and twist your left elbow over to the outside of the right knee, lifting the right elbow. looking up past your right elbow. And then bring the hands down on either side of the foot. Straighten the front leg. Relax the torso over the front leg. Relax the arms. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. If you want, you can also lift your front toes, flexing the front foot. Make sure your breath stays slow and long, deep and relaxing. Okay. Bend that front knee. Bring your hands solidly to the ground. Step back. And then look forward. And step your left foot up between your hands. Bring the back heel to the ground. And lift yourself up. And push back into that right thigh. Press the thigh back and the heel down. And then keep yourself rooted through your foot and just rotate, bringing that right hip forward and to the left. Lift your navel in and up. Scoop your tailbone under. Deeply bend into your front knee. Hips pointing straight ahead. Lift the arms up. Shoulders down. Gaze up, heart up. Feel both feet really grounded. And from that groundedness, you can invite a sense of liftedness in the heart. Beautiful. Hands together at your heart. Take a breath here. And exhale. Bending deeper into that front knee. Hook the right elbow over the left knee. Turn your gaze up past your left elbow. And then push your left hand down toward your right hand. Deepening your twist. And then deepen your breath. Beautiful. Hands to the ground. Shift the hips back, straightening your front leg. Bending over the leg. Relaxing weight out of your hands if your hands happen to come to the ground. Just have them lightly resting there so that the arms are relaxed and it isn't the sense that you're holding your torso up through the strength of your arms, but rather letting it collapse over because nothing is holding you. And then if you want to flex that left foot, go ahead and lift those toes. That's optional. Good. If you have the toes lifted, bring them down. And then we'll all step forward. Feet hip width apart. Knees slightly bent. Relaxing over. Clasp your hands behind the back of your head. And pull the hands toward your head and down toward the floor. Elbows reaching back behind you. Now release the hands, clasp them behind your back. Notice which thumb is on the outside. Then lift the hands and straighten the legs. Let the shoulder blades fold in toward the spine. Soften the muscles in the upper back, lifting those hands. And then slowly lift your body up, keeping the hands clasped behind you, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze. Good. And then relax the head, relax the arms, close the eyes. Feel the whole body relaxing, sinking into the earth. Then let your weight shift into your left foot, maybe spreading the toes on that foot a little wider. Eyes are open and focused on the spot in front of you. Breath is steady and the mind focuses on the breath. We'll come and lift the right foot, bringing it to the inside of the left leg. Now, you may only be able to bring it to the ankle, or maybe your balance isn't so good today and you want to rest those toes on the floor for balance. Wherever you have the leg is fine as long as it's not at the knee. We want to try to open that thigh out to the side. So push down into your standing leg, lift tall through the head, keep your tailbone under you, keep your belly in, and literally press that right knee open. Maybe pushing the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot for more stability. And then you can bring your hands here if you can balance there. If the balance is easy there, you can lift your arms up any way that you like. If you want more of a challenge, then you take your gaze down and to the left and start to bend your tree, as trees so often do. Bending toward that knee. Keep your eyes still and your mind steady on the breath. If you're bending your tree, straighten. If your arms are lifted, lower them. Bring the knee forward and down. Release the hands. Close the eyes. Just feel the effects. Feel what it feels like to have been a tree for a few moments. Do you feel especially rooted into the earth? Is there a sense of expansiveness like branches? Maybe not. Just notice. Breathe. Feel. Start to shift your weight to your right foot, maybe spreading the toes of that foot a little wider. Gazing at a spot in front of you, either eye level or down on the ground. And then we'll lift the foot, either down here or wherever you can. You can bring it all the way to the top of your thigh. Go ahead. We'll start by opening that knee out to the side. Tailbone is under, belly is pulled in, and then you can, but you don't have to, bring the hands either at the heart or grow some branches and lift up toward the sky. And then if you're wanting, you can gaze down and to the right and send your tree over to the left. If your tree is leaning, straighten it. If your arms are up, bring them down. Bring the knee forward and release the leg and the hands. Close the eyes. Feel how you feel. Now, we're going to bring some energy into the body, moving the spine. You'll go as fast as you can. You want to make sure that you stay rhythmic with your breath and your movement. So don't go so fast that you can't coordinate. And don't go so slow that you can't coordinate. One inhale for each uplift and one exhale for each fold. So looks like this. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Now, be sure when you look up, when you lift up, to look back. And when you fold forward, to really release your head. Looking behind you through your legs is a good way to make sure your head releases. And going as fast as you can, as I said. So it may be a vigorous breath. Last one. And then come up. Notice how you feel. Maybe closing the eyes. Feeling the energy in your body. And then step the legs wider apart with the toes wider than the heels. Bending the knees, sinking the buttocks down. Take the arms out to the side and then bend the elbows, starting in goddess pose. And then we'll inhale to the right and exhale to the left, also rapidly, also a forceful breath. Make sure your eyes wrap around. Inhale, step together, lift the arms up, hold the breath, interlace the fingers. While holding the breath, pull up through the base of the spine, pull in and up through the navel. Drop your chin and lift your throat. Press your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Roll your eyes up behind closed lids, squeezing all that held breath up as though you're pushing it like a, I don't know, like one of those, let's say like a tube of toothpaste up toward the fingertips. And when you need to exhale, release the arms, fold forward. And then clasp your hands behind your back with the opposite thumb on the outside and lift the arms. And release the hands and bring them to the ground. And come down onto your knees. Bring the elbows to the ground. No, we're not going to do it that way. Sorry. Stay on your hands and make sure your hands are shoulder width apart and your fingers are spread wide. And then just walk your hands back a little bit in the direction of your knees. So they're not straight down from your shoulders, they're behind your shoulders, but they're shoulder width apart. Good. Now, drop your head down onto the ground so that your head is at the apex of a triangle between your two hands and your head. So you don't want your head in between your hands, but in front of, like I said, creating a triangle. Good. The toes are curled under. And then you'll start to walk your feet a little bit forward, keeping the knees bent. Walk the feet as far forward until the knees actually touch the backs of the elbows. Notice the bend in the elbows. You don't want them splaying out to the side or collapsing in. You want the elbows over the wrists. And then you can start to try to lift your feet off the ground. If your hands are in the right position, the feet will effortlessly float off the ground. The hands, the head, and the elbows. So you want the elbows bent so that the elbows are in line and above the wrists. And release the feet down, release the knees down, come into child's pose. Relax the shoulders, relax the head. If your head doesn't naturally come to the ground in child's pose, please support your head with hands or fists. Feel the breath deep in the body. And then place the hands under your shoulders. Keep your chin to your chest, pressing yourself up. Sitting on the feet. And we'll bring the backs of the hands together. And then keeping the backs of the hands together, try to lower your elbows down as much as you can. Stretching out the wrists. And then circle the hands around. Circle the other way. Shake the hands out. And relax the hands down. Come off your feet. Bring them in front of you. And then take the arms forward or up or on your chest. And we'll slowly lay ourselves down. Once you come down, release your arms, but keep your knees bent. And then lift your hips and tuck your tailbone under and lower back down. Straighten the legs. Shake the legs out. And then take a deep breath in and tighten your whole body, your toes, your thighs, your fists, your arms, your face, your belly, your buttocks. Tighten, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale, relax. Yeah. Feel your body releasing into the ground. Relax the jaw and the muscles in the face. Relax your breath. Letting your breath breathe for you. Relax your mind. Resting your attention on the feeling of your breath. And see if you can focus on your breath without controlling your breath. Just allowing and receiving. Relaxing. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Breathe into your heart, fingers, toes. Reach the arms overhead, take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest, rock from side to side, feeling the ground massaging. Then come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. And then roll over onto your side, resting your head on your underside, resting your body on the ground, resting your mind and whatever is here, just noticing thoughts, sensations, emotions. And then slowly bring yourself up to sitting. Anywhere comfortable. Sit bones sinking down, head lifting tall. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands together. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Choose and adjust. Stay.